وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. So, meaning that أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. Allah is one, and nothing is associated to Him. His oneness. If we can understand the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the rest of our things are going to walk on a smooth line. For example, when we understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He's one, the worries that we have, all the worries will reduce. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is all-knowing. He knows what I will do tomorrow. He knows the next day what I will do. He knows the next day. So for us, if we understand the oneness of Allah, we shall be there not to worry. But when we don't understand the oneness of Allah, we always worry. For example, we are students, we study. There is a time you reach and you feel like the books are not going on so well. You feel like you are not passing enough to get the grades you all yearn for. But you always forget one thing, that Allah always decrees and He knows what is best. For example, you can get a 3rd grade and you think that you have totally not benefited in this world. But as you continue studying, you go to A level. The one who got a 3rd grade gets 19 points. And then who got a 1st grade has 14 points. Don't you see that there is a change, and Allah is the one, in His oneness, He's the one who is saying that this will happen to this. So, the worry we have, sometimes you have to be contented with what we have. If you have gotten a 3rd grade, that is where Allah will put your blessings in that 3rd grade. Always don't worry about a lot of things.
For anyone to be a complete Muslim, should be having salah in your daily life. What does this imply? In another narration by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, he narrated to us, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, told us that أول ما يحاسب به العبد الصلاة. The very first thing that will be accounted to a human being is salah. And when your salah will be found complete, you will enter Jannah. And when it will be found, when you're missing something in salah, hell direct. So, in our today life, that means we should be praying either when we want or we don't. Salah is a pillar. That means it's compulsory. Every Muslim. And when one establishes shahada, the next pillar is salah.
Kasi abantu barahangamwe wakahabuhangizota okurutira bwatandikire omusingi gwawe gw'obusiramu bwawe omukayani wangi omukayani abantu bohangarire omubantu bohangarire iwe kiwashoma cyaba kitariyo yotoza kwaza kiriya jena na cyatiringahi ecyaba kiriya abishi abasigaza hutuba wangi omuhutuba no jenda munesimu Mwana byana agatokora ki orya haki ahasum oina kindi gamunkai omukano noba wa ina chwayaga wanji noba ina chwayagire hati teka ngachi batambibe tibariyo batwizusia ni chango mnonga kandi kibasa kutugara tutembe samadara iwe dio batakora ki utakumanya wanji njira mugeza ho mnonga okureka message ejeri ya heri zoba ningana nyitakare wafayo mnonga wateka ngahi o memory yawe wanji wateka ngahi o memory yawe ya garabsia tuyo tugarabsia tuyo tukarashi tugarabsia mutumanya tubihangira tuya basira kongato kumanya basira mutanjira kaika mukomanga bashiri konkandira bariyo batugarabsia kandi batusiimula obugira ki obwongo obwaba bukumbatire ebintu by'ensi ab'engi bataahi banje ensi egi neeza kututambula turi hagati n'ahagira ki Allah ari aha ensi eri nkahi ekikumanyisa niiwe oramanya hariho akahanda akariyo nikakwetaagisa okutoora mu kari ak'ebicaamu haza kakuza kutwara omuntu Allah yatakugira ata eyatakwenda nikyo kureebera bataahi biitu biimukire bagira ngu apaana kati z'okubooreka omuhanda abo gwakugira ata gwakubendamu haza bwanyuma bakure bari abanki ab'omurembe bari aboozo ab'omurembe abakuhesa Allah ekigira ki Allahu akbar Allahu akbar Allahu akbar twahesa Allah ekigira ki ekitiinisa
kasita okkiriza n'obeera omukkiriza eri Allah n'osalawo olivinge a life that is honest eri Allah will bless you. I can assure you, irrespective of where you come from, irrespective of the schools zokozechi zosomeddemu. So don't worry, there is life and there is everything has been planned for you. Zembasaba kintu kimu mwekwate ku Allah kuba twatandise naki na tawhid. Bwe mumala okwekwata ku Allah mwekwate ku ki ku swala. Wallahi swala tekola ki terimba. So many times omanyi swala okasobera n'obukkiriza obwo olaba biri bintu bibiri ebitambulira wamu. Once you have one and you don't have the other, then you cannot have one and you don't have the other. Obukkiriza n'obugumiikiriza maliriza n'ebyo. Have patience and have faith. Beera n'obugumiikiriza era obeere n'obukkiriza.
Self-esteem kwekkiririzaamu gwenga gwe, what you believe in gwenga gwe, nti nze kino sikisobola naye bwe mba sikisobola I can do this. If I can't be a teacher, I can be something else. Because most of you here think that life is all about doing those professional things, doing those I have to be a lawyer, I have to be a doctor, I have to be an engineer. Life is not all about that. When you reach up where we are, you can get to know what I'm talking about. On that point, I'll mention out the concept of having skills in all what we are doing. I can be here when I know how to do carpentry, I know how to make clothes, tailoring, I know how to make bakery, I know how to, those skills, such skills. When you reach up here where we are, fine, we are studying, but we don't know what is outside here, you know? Even you here, you're studying, but you don't know what you're going to be after here. You get? So in all what you're doing, try as much as possible. You have a skill in your life. You have a skill with your hands, what you can do with your hands. Then another thing is all about fearing Allah in all what you do. Because everything starts there. Buli omuntu wabeera nga tatya Katonda we, omuntu eyamutonda, it is going to push you backwards. You know? That's why most of us think that we can't do things others do because fete tusobola.
So you have to have a particular way in which you carry yourself. Like, otambuza otya obulamu bwo in presence of all people that are around you. Waliwo abantu bayisa otya, abantu bwe bajja ewammwe bayisa otya. How do you treat ecology around you? How do you treat them? How do you treat your parents? So you need those personal skills. And one thing is attitude. How do you approach things that come to you in your life? Which kind of attitude do you have? If you're in high school and you're doing physics, you're doing biology, that is all seeking for knowledge. If you're here, you've come for a camp or a seminar and you want to get knowledge, that is all, those are all avenues to seek knowledge. So I think you have the first step to seek knowledge in every way you can. If you get someone that is telling you something, you listen to them and you get to know what they're saying. Any kind of knowledge that you can get. If you have an opportunity and you see a seminar that invites you or that favors you to get knowledge, then go for that seminar. Then listen to them, jangune attitude nungi owulirize bye bagamba so that you can get that knowledge. And don't get that knowledge for Jessica, but you get it and you also spread it to your friends. You spread it to all your siblings, because they're also doing ibadah by spreading knowledge to someone else. Knowledge that is beneficial, not any kind of knowledge. The knowledge spread shouldn't be sinful knowledge or knowledge that is not allowed in Islam. So if you're seeking for knowledge, make sure it's the good kind of knowledge and the knowledge that will be beneficial. And then another thing I believe you have to do or you have to have in this life is to have skills in life that can help you pass through certain stages in life or that can just help you as a person in case of anything. What I mean by this is having skills like money, not necessarily knowledge from school, since you're going to summer physics or your physics, but skills like okutunga okutunga or sports and you're good at it, or baking, you know, because when you're in your free time, like now you're in holiday, you need to have a skill, skill job practicing. So first of all, you have it for yourself in case you want to be an entrepreneur or in case you want to make money. Or you can also use it to impact your community. Like for example, you live here in Rubirizi, and okola cake. You know.
Ramadan comes, then that's when someone will have a connection with the Quran. And some of the people will have that connection in only the first 10 days. And when the 10 days elapse, you will find that person nowhere. We should, for really, like someone, to have a good life in this world of life. You cannot live happily ever after, like they say, when you don't have the connection with the Quran. That Quran is a guideline. How can you live a life without a guideline? Just an example, when you buy a machine, they always give you those notebooks about how to use this machine. When you decide, like when you decide to use the machine in your own way, in your own understanding, you will end up doing what? Making some errors, making some mistakes, destroying this machine because you don't do what? You're not following the guideline that was given to you. So now, when it comes to the Quran, this is far beyond even that. The Quran, wallahi, it is very, very important. When you want to test the sweetness of Iman, when you want to test the sweetness of this deen, wallahi, on this I swear by Allah, wallahi, when you want to test the sweetness of this deen, you should have a connection with the Quran. Surprisingly, you can find people here, surprisingly, someone Allah favored him with knowledge. He's smart when it comes to those mathematics, when it comes to
ekisokera ddala abalenzi tulina okukola ki okukola bintu bingi ewaka bye batuyigiriza eyo. Nze nange naliko wano ku stage nomuli naye nga amazima amatuufu nali saagalangako okukola. Obulungi bw'okukola kulabye enkuzeeki nkuzeemu engamba omuntu alina okukola ki okukola. Olwo banzigyeko emikono bangamba ebintu tebisobola kubikuwa byetuuseeko. Musekera baganda bange ne ku myaka emito gy'oliko essaawa zino okusobola okukola ki? Abaana abawala, abasajja bano bazibu, tajja kuwa buli kimu. Banaye musome, ate we musoma mukole eki? Muve ku birowoozo by'osimanzi oluva wano nga mwida bampasa ng'ebyalo bikola ki, nga nzaala abaana bikola ki? Omusajja bw'anaafa ani anaalabirira abaana? Tumusinze ate nga n'ebyokunsi we tukola ki bwe tubikola kuba amazima ga Katonda ensi gye tulimu essaawa zino si eri bahibu gye baalimu buli kimu kyaliwo nga balina kikola ki kirabirira bulabirizi essaawa zino olina okukola ki
ffenna Allah kyateeka mu ddaala lyerimu waliwo abamu nga basitula eddaala abamu nga tuli wansi so abo aba yakusitula eddaala osobola oyambako munno okuyimuka kuba mu busiraamu abiliva alinga ekisenge eky'amatafaali ayambako munno okusituka okukowa kubanga tonnaba kutrayinga ebintu byonna tobigezezzaako osogezaako ekintu nga kigenda kukuyisaawo so tokowa sigala ng'okwatiridde
isima nawe n'oyinza n'ogamba ina makyala ate mulina ekigambo kimu mu ekyala oba ekyala nakoma tazimba ekyala nakola kitazimba gamba ekyala muzakisoboza kyokola abantu abamu bagenda batuyitako twesinga abasiramu tulinayo omubagagga tulinayo amisi kikunda tulinayo okumba erinnya oliraba nti n'owabantu etakuwala nnyo obusiraamu naye nga ina erinnya tulina Mandela ono wa Mandela distributors nanyini sijje Cafe Javas bameka baali mulitero Cafe Javas batono kuba bisinga nnyo okubeera mu kibuga so oyo musajja naye nasente naye musiraamu so twandibadde nga naffe tukwese advantage y'abo abantu naffe otereze ki erinnya lyaffe ng'abasiraamu tukyali bato gino esaawa y'okwekolerera naffe tubeereko nekikola kyetulagawooko naye oli mwana muwala omuntu gwogenze naye okimanyi nti kituufu ewaka asula mu nyumba ya taata we together so ebyo bintu ebimu byetulina okukola ki like byetulina okwewala n'okukola ki n'okutereza ngaffe so leero twagadde kumekinga sure okulaba nti ani agenda obeera mukwano gwa alina okuba muki musiraamu together then gwe how are you respecting yourself nga muki ng'omusiraamu?
I wanted to talk about positive parenting. Positive parenting. Your future parents very soon. Some of you will start families very soon. Naye ensonga zino muzimanye nti obusiraamu bukulagira nti omusajja ar-rijal qawwamuna ala nisaa, omusajja yeew'amaanyi ku mukyala. Naye abantu tukozesezza bubi aya eyo kulinnya ku bakyala, omukyala tayogera. Your future should be mutual cooperation. Bw'oba olina omukyala nga mwogera wamu n'omugamba kaakati engeri gye sisiiba omwana ono omusomesa yasala, bw'amala yasala najja kumusomesa ekizu nga nnya nange mukuwa omwongereyo. You see the point? Mbasaba bwe muba mufunye famire ngamu mube banjawulo. Tulina ekizibu kati abantu balwana abakyala bakuba abasajja naye oluusi nga bakubira ekisaanidde. Why do you come late without a reason? Kati angaafu siwa abakyala maanyi naye family ezirina ekigendererwa. An Islamic family, it is the foundation for the community. Community yaffe ejja kuba nungi muwulirize n'ekigendererwa. Hindrances muzitweko oba tutandise leeti naye tugende ku kigendererwa. Nga mmaliriza waliwo obukodyo obuyinza okukuuma famire. Abakyala nga tonnafuna musajja obusiraamu bwakuwa obuyinza. You first study. Omuntu mu studying naye omuntu akusanze muva mu musomo mutambudde wamu mu mmotoka nosomera nkali si ya mukaaga mpe namba yawe n'omuwe namba all of a sudden ng'okoze family.